One of the things that I learned when I was teaching is that students learn so much better if you ask them and you have to draw the information out of them. Do you find that is true not only for kids but also adults?
Absolutely, because when we ask people questions, it allows them, you kind of open up this gateway for them to probe their own psyche and probe the world around them, right? And that's why we've seen in China places that just require rote learning, rote memorization. Um, that doesn't foster creativity in any brain, a young brain, an older brain. So if we want to foster creativity, it's that asking, that probing, fostering an environment that creates the curiosity, like, what would this be? That is how we start to open our minds. And it's interesting. The other study we looked at was when you ask a question of yourself, a different part of your brain lights up. And it's the part of your brain that does critical thinking. So asking questions causes your own brain to be a better resource to you.
Lila, do you have another question for Crystal?
I do, because asking is one of those things that I agree is incredibly important, but I know that a lot of people have a problem when it comes to asking for help. They feel like they don't want to put somebody out or that they should be able to figure it out on their own. Is there any kind of solution for people when they hit that problem?
Well, that's so interesting, Lila, because we looked at a lot of studies about asking why people don't ask other people for help, for assistance, advice. And it turns out the people entering the study all thought the same thing, that if they asked for help, information, assistance, advice, that they would be looked at as annoying, obnoxious, pushy. But the study also revealed just the opposite, that if they put themselves out and ask, they would be 80% more likely to get their question answered. But the other part of the study revealed if they don't ask, no one's going to step up for you and figure out what you're thinking. No one's going to step up and intuit what you need, unless it's your mom. Okay. Sometimes. But, so the point is we have to ask. The other part of the study that was so interesting, and this comes to, down to business people, but also just personal relationships. Okay. But in business, they did a study that the people who sat face to face, those who asked the most questions of each other, were the ones who were perceived to be the best business partners, the most trustworthy business partners.
Hmm.
And especially when they asked probing questions, because so often we're kind of all a little narcissistic. We think we step up for the sales presentation. We go, here's what I have. I have the best product in the world, and you should get this. And here's what I have, and I can do this for you. And they never ask. So we say, start off saying, if I could help you, Lila, if I could solve 3 of your problems in this area, what would those problems be? I really want to know. And you go, wow, Crystal, you really care about me. Okay,
Mhm.
here are my problems. And you go, if at the end of the year you had one major goal achieved that we could help you with, what does that look like? And so you start to give me your goals. Now you and I have a bond because I've asked you and I've cared enough to listen to your answers and then ask further, deeper, probing questions that help us understand each other as human beings and how we can work together in a really beautiful, constructive way where everyone's winning and everyone's feeling so good about this relationship. And when you forge those relationships in business and personally, you guys, people don't want to go anywhere else. They want you because that's where their bond is.
If you want to learn more about asking, if you want a free gift, make sure you text ask to 21,000. Just ask, ASK, to 21000.